friends. Mike Cleveland here. Another lesson in what is most important. This is our final lesson on this subject. And today I want to read to you 1 John 3:8 and then discuss something. It says, "The one who does what is sinful is of the devil, because the devil has been sinning from the beginning. The reason the Son of God appeared was to destroy the devil's work." So think about that. The reason the Son of God appeared was to destroy the devil's work. Everything the devil did, Jesus came to undo. And so what I want to discuss with you today is just some initial first words that were mentioned in Genesis 3 after sin came into the world. Think about some of these words that had never been mentioned, and were not in the vocabulary of Adam and Eve at all, until sin came. And so the first one was sweat. Adam would now have to work hard. He would have to work by the sweat of his brow as a consequence of sin. Then there were thorns. Thorns and thistles would come up on the earth. And why? Because of the sin. And now it's a consequence that they had to keep that out. Thorns and thistles out. There was the curse itself. Remember, a curse came upon the land due to sin. Pain, I think of this is a word that was never mentioned before. Pain. Eve would have pain in childbearing. All these words, are first words that came as a consequence of sin. For instance, enmity or hostility. There would become enmity between the woman and the serpent, between her seed and his seed. Banishment, right? Adam and Eve were banished. That was the new thought. It was a new word. As a consequence of their sin, they were banished from paradise. And an angel or angels were to bar the way back in with a sword. So that's a new word, sword. And of course, death, right? The wages of sin is death. These are new words. So look how the Son of God appeared to destroy the devil's work. And so in the Garden of Gethsemane, as he lived his life perfectly, but now he came and he was facing the cross, and in the garden he's praying and he's crying out with such intensity that his sweat was as drops of blood. Jesus is beginning to undo the works of Satan. And as they came up to the hill of Calvary, Roman soldiers twisted a crown of thorns and put it on Jesus' head. He's now wearing the curse that came upon the land due to sin. Pain. Look at Jesus as the Roman soldiers striped his back with a cat o' nine tails. His back looked like a farmer's field as they lashed his back. Micah 5:1 says, "They will strike Israel's ruler on the face with a rod." They pulled out his beard. They nailed his hands and feet to a cross. Pain is what Jesus endured because he's taking all that Satan brought into this world upon himself. Enmity and hostility was a new word that came in. And Jesus on the cross is being treated in hostility. He's taking our hostility toward God upon himself. And of course, he's being banished from God's presence so that we might come in to God's presence. He said to a thief on the cross right next to him, "Today you will be with me in paradise." Whereas sin had banished Adam and Eve from paradise, Jesus came and opened the way, opened a new and living way through his death. And he invites the first person in, a thief, back into paradise. A sword, as he died, a Roman soldier pierced his side with a sword, and out came blood that forgives you and water that cleanses you, and finally death. Jesus took our death. In fact, he tasted death for every man. And now we can say that death itself is swallowed up in victory. Jesus rose from the dead on the third day. It's Easter as I'm speaking to you. Death, oh death, where is your sting now, huh? And death had stung Jesus, and it will never sting you or I. Jesus took all the works of Satan on himself, thereby removing them from us. Would you, right now, in the comment section below, answer this one question? What does it do to your own heart to consider Jesus taking all those first words on himself and doing away with them? What does that do for your own heart as you think about it? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll talk with you soon.
If you found this video helpful, click the subscribe button below. If you'd like notifications of future videos, click the bell icon and select all.